Today, we'll explore a case that occurred at a shopping mall in Stanley, Hong Kong in 2007. Around 7 p.m. on June 25th, a woman living in the Stanley area was walking her dog. When she reached Wong Ma Kok Road, her dog suddenly started behaving strangely. It refused to continue walking and instead ran to a nearby sewer, barking incessantly, as if trying to warn its owner about something unusual. Curious, the woman approached to take a closer look. Looking down, she saw a suitcase at the bottom of the sewer, surrounded by a swarm of flies. Maggots were crawling out of the suitcase's zipper, and a horrific stench emanated from it. Witnessing this terrifying scene, she felt chills run down her spine and quickly called the police. After receiving the report, the police promptly arrived at the scene. They found a suitcase standing upright at the bottom of the sewer. They quickly pulled it up. When they opened the suitcase, they indeed witnessed a horrifying sight. Inside was a severely decomposed body of a woman. She was fully clothed, curled up, with her head covered by a bag, revealing shoulder-length wavy blonde hair. A green electrical cord was wrapped around her neck. The unfortunate woman's body was severely decomposed and bloated, with flies continuously crawling out from her clothes. The police searched the area but found no evidence that could identify the victim. As the victim's face was unrecognizable, the police had to use DNA collection and dental records for identification. Finally, they identified the victim through missing persons records. The victim was Xiu Fen, 56 years old, a beauty expert. She managed a beauty salon at the Xiu Fen shopping center on Aberdeen Avenue. 5 days earlier, on June 20th, 2007, her ex-husband had reported to the police station that his ex-wife, Xiu Fen, was missing. The police investigated and learned that the ex-husband's name was Chu Ruixing, a bus driver. They had a son who was currently living with his father. Chu Ruixing told the police that although he and Xiu Fen were divorced, they still had feelings for each other. They were currently mending their relationship and planning to remarry. Chu Ruixing recounted, "My ex-wife had arranged to help me sell tickets on the bus on June 20th, but by the end of my shift I still hadn't seen her. She was always punctual and had never stood me up without notice before. Worried, I tried calling her, but her phone was turned off. My son and I then went to her beauty salon to look for her, but the staff didn't know where she was either. Feeling that something was wrong, I decided to report her missing to the police." Tragically, just 5 days after filing the report, he had to face the harsh reality that his ex-wife had passed away. The police investigated Xiu Fen's beauty salon and discovered bloodstains on the carpet and a pair of sneakers. After DNA testing, they confirmed the blood belonged to the victim, Xiu Fen. They then reviewed the surveillance footage from the Xiu Fen shopping center. The footage showed that on June 19th, Xiu Fen entered the building alone and wasn't seen leaving. Around 2 p.m. that day, a suspicious woman entered the building and went to the beauty salon. Shortly after, around 2:30 p.m., 2 suspicious men pulling a suitcase also arrived at the beauty salon. About 30 minutes later, the 3 people left the beauty salon with the suitcase. After exiting the building, the woman hailed a taxi on the street. The 2 men lifted the suitcase into the trunk of the taxi. The suitcase appeared to be quite heavy. Through the license plate number, the police quickly found the taxi driver who had driven the 3 people that day. According to the taxi driver, on June 19th, he indeed had 3 passengers with a suitcase in his car. The 3 people got off at Wong Ma Kok Road in Stanley. This was close to where the suitcase containing the victim's body was found. Therefore, the police suspected that these 3 people had conspired to kill Xiu Fen, then stuffed her body into the suitcase and dumped it in the sewer. But why did they kill Xiu Fen? The police provided images of the 3 suspects extracted from the surveillance footage to the immigration department. Subsequently, the police arrested a man and a woman at Luohu Port. They were the 2 people who had appeared in the surveillance footage that day. The whereabouts of the other man remained unknown. The arrested man was named Huang Xiangrong, 32 years old, from Guangzhou, who dealt in mobile phones. The woman was a close friend of Xiu Fen, named Yuan Miao Fen, 52 years old, who worked as an assistant at a traditional Chinese medicine clinic. The police interrogated the 2 suspects separately. It turned out that behind this was a complex love affair involving multiple parties. During the interrogation, both suspects quickly confessed and mentioned another accomplice named Bao Jiangqiang, the mastermind of the crime who was currently on the run. Bao Jiangqiang, 60 years old, came to Hong Kong from mainland China in the early 1970s. He met a woman surnamed Zhu who was running a tutoring school. After dating for a while, they married and had a daughter. To make a living, Bao Jiangqiang studied traditional Chinese medicine and obtained a license to practice. His wife then invested in opening a traditional Chinese medicine clinic for him. Occasionally, Bao Jiangqiang would help at his wife's tutoring school. With their joint efforts, both the clinic and the tutoring school developed well. However, their marital relationship deteriorated quickly due to the appearance of a third person. That person was Xiu Fen, the victim in this case. Xiu Fen was born into a fishing family in Hong Kong and was the eldest daughter. To reduce the burden on her parents, she dropped out of school early and worked various jobs such as selling clothes on the street and selling insurance. Later, unsatisfied with her current life, she started taking beauty courses. She worked as a makeup artist for clients while also selling insurance. She even won an Outstanding Salesperson award at her company. Over time, Xiu Fen's beauty skills became increasingly proficient, and she gained many loyal customers. To expand her business, she opened a beauty spa at the Xiu shopping center in Hong Kong, while also selling some fashion items. By chance, Xiu Fen met and fell in love with a bus driver named Chu Ruixing. They got married and had a son. The family of three lived quite happily and harmoniously. Xiu Fen cared a lot about her son's education. When her son was 12, she enrolled him in a cognitive development class, which happened to be run by Bao Jiangqiang's wife. Bao Jiangqiang often came to the class to help his wife. This is how Xiu Fen met Bao Jiangqiang. Unexpectedly, when they met, they found they had a lot in common. They began to meet frequently and share their entrepreneurial experiences. Both felt they had found a kindred spirit who truly understood them. Gradually, their relationship developed into something special. Although both were betraying their families, they decided not to hide it and chose to divorce their spouses to be together. After bus driver Chu Ruixing discovered his wife's affair, the couple had a fierce argument. In a moment of anger, Xiu Fen left home. Soon after, they officially divorced. As for Bao Jiangqiang's wife, after discovering her husband's affair, she demanded that he leave Xiu Fen, but Bao Jiangqiang used their children as leverage and demanded a divorce. His wife eventually agreed. Xiu Fen and Bao Jiangqiang quickly moved in together after their divorces. After his divorce, Bao Jiangqiang received a considerable amount of assets. He had a house, a car, and money in the bank. But before long, he had squandered everything and was left with only his traditional Chinese medicine clinic. To help her husband regain his spirits, Xiu Fen often went to the clinic to help. She even introduced her beauty salon customers to her husband's traditional medicine services. Thanks to Xiu Fen's persuasive skills, she brought many business opportunities to her husband. Gradually, the clinic's business recovered. Later, the couple expanded their business to include tutoring classes, a fashion store, and a weight loss center. Everything seemed to be developing well. In 2001, Xiu Fen learned that her close friend Yuan Miaofen was looking for a job. To help her friend, she introduced Yuan Miaofen to her husband's clinic as an assistant. Yuan Miaofen was married with 3 children and lived in the Wafu area. Xiu Fen and Yuan Miaofen had been close friends for many years, as close as sisters. In introducing this job, Xiu Fen thought she could help her friend solve her employment problem while also helping her husband reduce his workload. It seemed like killing 2 birds with 1 stone. But she never expected that this act of kindness would lead to disaster. After Bao Jiangqiang met Yuan Miaofen and they started working together at the clinic, seeing each other daily, their relationship gradually became closer. A woman's 6th sense is often quite accurate. Gradually, Xiu Fen began to notice something was wrong. She felt her husband was treating her more coldly, so she began to suspect that her husband and her best friend were having an affair. When Xiu Fen questioned Bao Jiangqiang, he strongly denied it. insisting that he and Yuan Miaofen had a purely professional relationship. But in reality, Bao Jiangqiang no longer had feelings for Xiu Fen. However, he didn't want to divorce yet because his wife was talented and could bring him many customers, and he didn't want to lose such a promising business partner. Sometime later, Xiu Fen discovered her husband's ambiguous relationship and confirmed her suspicions. One day in 2003, Xiu Fen unexpectedly went to the clinic and caught Bao Jiangqiang in the act of cheating with Yuan Miaofen. At this point, Bao Jiangqiang could no longer deny it. When betrayed by her closest friend and husband, Xiu Fen felt furious, but still gave her husband another chance. She demanded that Bao Jiangqiang immediately leave Yuan Miaofen. But to her surprise, her husband flatly refused, immediately proposed a divorce, and quickly moved out. After their divorce, Bao Jiangqiang and Yuan Miaofen officially became a couple. Xiu Fen's fate now mirrored that of Bao Jiangqiang's ex-wife. Perhaps karma spares no one? Xiu Fen felt deeply hurt by the betrayal. Perhaps due to loneliness and reflecting on how she had wronged her ex-husband, she took the initiative to reconnect with Chu Ruixing, wanting to mend their relationship and make up for past mistakes. In her spare time, Xiu Fen often went to her ex-husband's bus to help sell tickets. Although Bao Jiangqiang and Xiu Fen had divorced, they had previously opened many businesses together, so they couldn't immediately cut all ties due to their many business connections. After being betrayed by Bao Jiangqiang, Xiu Fen was no longer the same. She stopped helping to attract customers to Bao Jiangqiang's clinic and stopped managing his tutoring classes and fashion store. Without Xiu Fen's management, the businesses began to decline. Soon, they all closed one by one. By 2007, apart from the clinic, Bao Jiangqiang had no other business operations. On the other hand, Xiu Fen's beauty salon was still thriving, which made Bao Jiangqiang very resentful and uncomfortable. He was jealous of his ex-wife's success and felt bitter that she no longer helped him manage his businesses, leading to the closure of all his stores. Bao Jiangqiang blamed Xiu Fen for all his business failures, and gradually, the idea of revenge began to form in his mind. Therefore, Bao Jiangqiang and Yuan Miaofen began to plan their revenge against Xiu Fen. On June 17, 2007, following Bao Jiangqiang's instructions, Yuan Miaofen went to Shenzhen and found two people, Huang Xiangrong and Yue Wenji. Huang Xiangrong was from Guangzhou, had studied psychology at university, and had worked as a psychologist at a hospital. Later, he switched to real estate brokerage, opened a real estate company, and dealt in electronic components. In 2005, he became unemployed and made a living by selling phones online. He was a business partner with Yue Wenji. Huang Xiangrong was introduced to Bao Jiangqiang by Yue Wenji. Whenever Huang Xiangrong came to Hong Kong, Bao Jiangqiang would arrange accommodation for him. Both Huang Xiangrong and Yue Wenji had failed in their businesses. Fortunately, they had a close relationship with Bao Jiangqiang, who had voluntarily lent them 10,000 Hong Kong dollars, about 1,280 US dollars. Due to this debt of gratitude and the unpaid loan, they chose to comply with all of Bao Jiangqiang's requests. After Yuan Miaofen met the two in Shenzhen, she said that Bao Jiangqiang needed them for a job. Bao Jiangqiang called and told them that his ex-wife, Xiu Fen, was having an affair with another man. She also owed him a large sum of money. Bao Jiangqiang wanted the two to come to Hong Kong to teach her a lesson. After completing the task, all their debts would be cleared. If they did well, Bao Jiangqiang promised to give them a bonus. Then, Yuan Miaofen gave Huang Xiangrong and Yue Wenji a suitcase. Inside was a letter and a package of white powder. The letter mentioned that they needed to find a way to kill Xiu Fen and instructed the two to meet Yuan Miaofen when they arrived in Hong Kong, who would help them complete the plan. Although Huang Xiangrong and Yue Wenji knew that the task Bao Jiangqiang assigned was murder, they decided to agree in order to clear their debts. On June 18, 2007, Huang Xiangrong and Yue Wenji brought the suitcase to Hong Kong. According to Yuan Miaofen's arrangement, they stayed at a hotel in Tongluo. In the room, the three discussed their next plan of action. Yuan Miaofen told Huang Xiangrong and Yue Wenji that the location of the action was the Yuefei shopping center in Hong Kong, where Xiu Fen's beauty salon was located. On June 19, 2007, they began their action. It was the Dragon Boat Festival, and Xiu Fen's beauty salon was closed, but Yuan Miaofen used the excuse of discussing business to arrange a meeting with her. During their conversation, Yuan Miaofen took the opportunity to put the white powder into Xiu Fen's cup of water. Soon after, Xiu Fen felt tired and gradually fell asleep in her chair. Yuan Miaofen seized the opportunity to take Xiu Fen's money and jewelry, then called Huang Xiangrong and Yue Wenjie, who were waiting nearby, to take action. In the surveillance camera footage, the two men were heavily disguised to conceal their identities. Huang Xiangrong wore a baseball cap, while Yue Wenjie wore a mask that covered most of his face. They pulled a suitcase into the beauty salon. Then, they took out a prepared cord and strangled Xiu Fen until she stopped breathing. Next, they put the body into the suitcase, but discovered blood coming from Xiu Fen's mouth, so they used an additional bag to cover her head to prevent blood from dripping onto the floor. Finally, Huang Xiangrong and Yue Wenjie pulled the suitcase containing the body out of the building. Yuan Miaofen hailed a taxi, and all three got in, with the suitcase in the trunk. The taxi drove to Wang Ma Kok Road and stopped. The three got out, pushed the suitcase to a nearby sewer. Huang Xiangrong and Yue Wenji together threw the suitcase into the sewer. After finishing, all three took another taxi to a shopping mall to buy new clothes and change in the restroom, discarding the clothes they had worn during the crime. Then, Yuan Miaofen found a shop to exchange Hong Kong dollars for Chinese yuan for the two men. All three returned to the hotel around 10:30 p.m. that night. After dinner, Huang Xiangrong and Yue Wenjie quickly took a train back to Shenzhen. The transaction had cleared their debts, making them feel greatly relieved. They thought their actions were perfect and left no loose ends, but reality proved otherwise. The day after the crime, on June 20th, 2007, Chu Ruixing discovered his ex-wife was missing and couldn't be contacted. He remembered that Xiu Fen had said she would go to the beauty salon on the 19th to meet Yuan Miaofen for business, so he called Yuan Miaofen to ask about his wife's whereabouts. But Yuan Miaofen claimed, "We met at 1 p.m. that day. After our discussion, Xiu Fen left, and I don't know where she went." Chu Ruixing felt something was wrong and decided to call the police. Early morning on June 21st, 2007, Yuan Miaofen, fearing the crime might be exposed, hurriedly fled from Hong Kong to Guangzhou, China. After Chu Ruixing's report, the police quickly contacted Yuan Miaofen. She claimed, "I really don't know Xiu Fen's whereabouts." On June 23rd, the police contacted Yuan Miaofen again. She said, "I'm working in Guangzhou and don't know anything." 6 days after the crime, a pedestrian discovered Xiu Fen's body in the sewer. 2 months later, the police successfully arrested Yuan Miaofen and Huang Xiangrong at Luohu Port. During their detention, the police tried to track down the other accomplice, Yue Wenji, but failed. 1 year after the crime, on September 8, 2008, the trial was held at the Hong Kong High Court. Yuan Miaofen and Huang Xiangrong were charged with conspiracy to murder and preventing the lawful burial of a body. At the trial, the prosecutor presented many pieces of physical evidence of the crime, including the suitcase containing the body. But the two defendants suddenly changed their previous statements. They denied committing murder and only admitted to helping dispose of the body under Bao Jiangqiang's instructions. Defendant Yuan Miaofen claimed, "At the time of the crime, I was just sitting on the stairs. I didn't know what happened in the beauty salon and didn't know there was a body in the suitcase." She further stated, "Bao Jiangqiang and I were just business partners. We hadn't met for half a year before the incident. Only when the crime occurred did I receive a call from Bao Jiangqiang asking me to help arrange a meeting with Xiu Fen at the beauty salon. I didn't know what happened afterward. However, on the day of the crime, when I went to the beauty salon, I accidentally met Bao Jiangqiang. Only when the body was discovered did I learn that Bao Jiangqiang had killed Xiu Fen. Fearing I would be implicated, I fled Hong Kong that night." The other defendant, Huang Xiangrong, also tried to deny his previous statement. He claimed, "On the day of the crime, Yue Wenji and I went to the beauty salon under Bao Zhangqiang's instructions to move some items. But when we arrived, we discovered Bao Zhangqiang strangling the victim Xiu Fen to death. Because we owed Bao Zhangqiang a lot of money, he used that to promise to clear our debts if we helped him dispose of the body. So we reluctantly agreed to help. Moreover, both defendants claimed their previous confessions were coerced under police threats. Defendant Yuan Miaofen even accused the police of using violence. They pressed hard on my chest during interrogation, making it hard for me to breathe. When I was forcibly taken to the police station, I was hit on the head and chest by an officer. I only confessed because I was afraid of being tortured. Although the two defendants changed their statements, the surveillance footage from the Xiu Fen shopping center, where Xiu Fen's beauty salon was located, did not show Bao Zhangqiang entering or leaving, so there was no evidence proving he was present at the time of the crime. Since January 2007, Bao Zhangqiang had never returned to Hong Kong after leaving Luohu port. Therefore, the judge believed Bao Zhangqiang had an alibi. The changed testimonies of the two defendants, Yuan Miaofen and Huang Xiangrong, were deemed unreliable. A month later, after 6 hours of deliberation, the jury reached a unanimous verdict. The court found the two defendants, Yuan Miaofen and Huang Xiangrong, guilty of conspiracy to murder and preventing the lawful burial of a body. The court declared all charges established and sentenced both defendants to life imprisonment. At the trial, the son and younger sister of the victim Xiu Fen were also present to hear the verdict. The sister expressed, "The law is very fair. I sincerely thank the dedicated police for bringing the perpetrators to justice. Justice will never be absent." Xiu Fen's son also stated, "My mother died unjustly. Although she had wronged my father and me before, I never blamed her. I'm not sure if Bao Zhangqiang is the mastermind, but I hope the Chinese police will soon catch the remaining suspects." On January 2010, Huang Xiangrong's appeal was rejected. The appeal court believed the trial judge had made a mistake in instructing the jury, so they accepted Yuan Miaofen's appeal. On July 29, 2010, Yuan Miaofen's appeal hearing was held at the High Court. After 7 hours of deliberation, the jury unanimously upheld the life sentence for Yuan Miaofen. However, she still refused to accept the verdict. Finally, on July 10, 2013, the Hong Kong High Court rejected the appeal and upheld the original verdict. The pursuit of the two remaining suspects in the case, Bao Zhangqiang and Yue Wenjie, continues. It was reported that in August 2010, the Hong Kong Chinese Medicine Council announced that among the recently registered practitioners, there was someone named Bao Zhangqiang. However, it was later verified that he was not the suspect the police were looking for. In this case, Yuan Miaofen and Huang Xiangrong have received their due punishments, while Bao Zhangqiang and Yue Wenjie have disappeared without a trace. The Hong Kong police have cooperated with Chinese police multiple times, but without results. Some say they are still alive somewhere, while others believe they may have done something drastic out of fear of punishment. This story is not just about a murder case, but also a painful lesson about betrayal, greed, and the consequences of selfish actions. At the same time, it shows us that justice may be slow, but it will eventually be served. Thank you for following this story today. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so you don't miss other thrilling videos. See you in the next video.